Thanksgiving not only means a feast for one night, but leftovers for days after that. But the way you save your food could be putting your family's health at risk.
And Jacqueline Powell looks at why just putting your leftovers in the fridge isn't enough to assure that they won't make anyone sick in this Watching Out For You report.
Thanksgiving marks the beginning of the joyful holiday season. But if you don't store your leftovers properly, a batch of food poisoning could take the cheer right out of it.
The food could grow lots of bacteria that are harmful.
Tom Schmalz oversees food safety and restaurant inspections for the Treasure Valley Central District Health Department. He says most people don't realize that the way they're putting away their leftovers could be dangerous. And it all has to do with what temperature the food is at after it's prepared. Usually, food is cooked at anywhere from 165 to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. But once it cools to 135 degrees, it hits what Schmalz calls the danger zone. If it stays anywhere from 135 to 42 degrees for more than 4 hours, the food can become unsafe.
It's called the danger zone because this is the best temperature that bacteria can grow in.
For food to be safe, it has to reach and stay at 41 degrees or below within 4 hours of being cooked. I prepared this meal, and about 20 minutes after I pulled it all off the stove and out of the oven, I put it in containers in the fridge, thinking I was doing a good thing. 13 hours later, I meet up with Schmalz and find out I did it all wrong.
Did you put them in the refrigerator hot?
It did.
And did you cover it?
Yes.
Okay, so those are two things you don't want to do.
We use a simple kitchen food thermometer to measure the dish's temperatures, and even after being refrigerated for more than half a day, they still aren't down to the safe temperature of 41 degrees or lower.
The steps you did last night by putting it in the fridge, hot with the cover on it, it makes the food cool too slowly. So the temperature right now is reading 50 degrees. The health department would recommend that you discard it.
For food to cool safely, it should be left on the counter for a while, just not any longer than 2 hours.
During the time that the food is sitting on the table and it's at room temperature, it's already cooling, right? So as soon as you get done eating, the thing to do is get up, look at what's on the table, just get into action.
Schmalz says rapidly cooling the food before sticking it in the fridge isn't a bad idea.
Dump the ice into the sink, put the container in the ice, and maybe get a big spoon. Just by stirring it, you're going to really increase the release of the heat from the food product.
You can also take the dish and split it up into more shallow containers, then put those in the refrigerator without a lid on them so that they cool off faster.
Once everything's in, keep the fridge set at 37 to 38 degrees. That way,
your refrigerator can handle the opening and closing, and the food inside the refrigerator will stay at 41 degrees or less.
Kept at that temperature, everything from green beans to pumpkin pie will stay good to eat for 7 days. And when you reheat your Turkey Day dinner, it's safest if warmed all the way back up to 165 degrees. Jacqueline Powell, KBOI News, Boise.